Board games are popular among different generations, but one board game stood out and became the best-selling game in history. Monopoly was played across the decades by people of all age groups from various cultures around the world. The economic situation in the beginning of the 20th century inspired the creation of the game, from its board to its rules. Board games started becoming a common finding in middle-class homes. Elizabeth Maggie came up with the concept to criticize the potential exploitation of tenants by greedy landlords through a game, and called it the Landlord's Game, which was later sold to the Parker brothers, who took credit for its invention and rebranded it as Monopoly. Hence, the board game became a reflection of the culture in which it was created in. Different board games reflect different cultural contexts, including numerous beliefs, social norms, and values behind the rules of play and design of products. In the Gulf region, the interest in board games dates back to a few decades ago, from traditional games, which has evolved over time to become a vital part in the cultural heritage, to the Gulf-centered version of Monopoly. Board games has always been a big part of the Qatari and the Gulf culture. They're usually played in family gatherings or with friends. Thus, Carrom, a tabletop game, gained enormous popularity among adults and kids. Carrom originated in India and spread in the Gulf due to the extensive trade exchange between India and the region in the past. The name Carrom refers to the fruit that carries the same name and have a similar shape to the star drone in the middle of the Carrom board. Research found that board games foster face-to-face interaction needed to form deep connection with other people. It was also proven that board games play a vital role in improving communication. Dama, for example, is a board game that's very valuable in the cultural heritage of Qatar and played in cafes at the old souks across the region. The game's origin in the culture dates back to the maritime tradition of Qatari fishermen, who often used to carry the game with them on their voyages to entertain and distract them from the job's challenges and demands, developing a sense of camaraderie among the fishermen. Qatar and the Gulf's young generation today still found board games enjoyable and inspirational. Thus, Majlis Shabab, a Qatari platform committed to constant innovation in the local gaming market and specializes in the production and selling of board games, came to life in 2017, aiming to support local talents. Years later, despite the rise of modern technologies and digital games, the board game industry is still a multi-billion-dollars worth industry, as it holds immense cultural significance and fosters social connections. German professor Astrid Erl said, "All artistic activity is an act of memory, as it necessarily falls back on element of cultural tradition."